What is going on, y'all? As you can probably tell, it's your boy Nate Schmidt. This is a special episode, though. A few weeks ago, we did an interview, the first interview on the Ecom Dispensary with the big baller Nick M1K. And I'm very pleased to announce that we have another stellar interview here with the boy Kobe Gatsby. Kobe, what's going on, man?
What's up, bro? Appreciate you, man.
Dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you coming on. So I'm going to let Kobe give a little bit of background about himself here in a second, but to give you guys a little bit of an idea of, who he is, I guess, from my perspective, I've known Kobe, probably for 3+ years now. Kind of came up on Twitter together, started talking, ended up doing some work together. We've met in real life a few times. You came out and stayed with me a couple years ago. That was pretty fun. We played some hoops. I remember that. And Kobe, I would say, is like probably one of my favorite people to talk to, just because he is so just like energetic, and I just feel like everywhere you go, man, you just you just leave it better than you found it. So I'm really excited to talk to you today.
Facts, bro. I appreciate that for real. Yeah, we've been working together for in some way, like knowing each other, talking to each other, all the way back to when you were considering selling pipes via Instagram
Oh
influencers.
my
Like that's a
Lord,
big
dude. That was
throwback.
so long ago.
That's a massive throwback. And I think that same year is when you officially dropped those like 80K in a day screenshots. So like it's been a long time since we've been working together, and we honestly came up around the same time in terms of our business growing too.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's definitely cool to look back at that. I've totally forgot about that with the peace pipes or whatever. But yeah, man, I mean, and really, like, for you guys that are listening, I guess the context of like Kobe and his kind of like specialty, his expertise, I think he can probably expound on this a little bit more. But from my perspective, Kobe is super, super great at the kind of like branding and psychology and just that side of things. I think he really understands how to find a hungry market, how to serve that market, how to put things in a way that makes them want to buy. And you just have a really great and like simple and direct way of communicating that to other people. And I think that's why personally I really enjoy all the content that you've put out. And I think that's kind of like the main draw, I guess, with Kobe Gatsby.
Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, I say that's probably the thing I'm the best at as well is really getting like that product market fit. I've been on a few interviews in the past couple of days, and I feel like that's what I keep talking about. But it's just like that's really what I would say all of my success comes down to. It's not like I'm the best at like copywriting. I'm not the best at making creatives. I'm not the best at running ads. I just put like all of my attention into like who can I sell a product to who's absolutely gonna love it, and who is making money doing something similar and doing it wrong. So that way I could like compete with people who are making a crap ton of money but aren't doing a lot of things right. Just like leave so much room for opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I want to get more into that and ask you some questions about some of the things you're doing now in that respect. I remember, a couple of weeks ago, you showed me a landing page that you had, that you're running, and it was super interesting because it was not the normal format of ecom, I guess.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to get more into that. But I guess I want to start. I kind of want to switch things up. I want to start. Um, can you just tell us what you're up to these days? What's going on in your life right now, business wise, outside of that? Who is Kobe Gatsby as of right now?
Yeah. I'm working on two brands that really have the majority of my focus. And honestly, I just was talking to somebody about it earlier today. It's like I feel like I've been doing well, and at the same time as I've been doing well, I've built up like some habits that I'm not like the biggest fan of in terms of like some projects sometimes will just pop off with not that much effort. I actually just tweeted about this earlier today. Like some stuff will pop off with not that much effort and it will do really, really well. And it kind of gets you into this like habit of thinking like, oh, this is the amount of effort that needs to go into it going forward, and other stuff that like I start that's new. And that kind of made me like complacent or stuck in the same spot for a while. And I feel like these past couple months to a year really been like diving in on that, trying to fix it and just going like balls to the wall, trying new things, new methods of traffic, really just trying to give it all max effort. So, we can get what we all want, which is that big exit, and then go start something we're a little bit more passionate about, or just like start from the ground up again, honestly, because it's a lot of fun, like once things get moving.
Oh, dude, it is. I feel like we have pretty similar outlooks on that in terms of building brands and, exiting out of them, and then ideally kind of taking that and then putting it into something that we're more interested in ourselves. That's kind of been my mindset. I really want to do something like that, and been working on something along those lines
Mm-hmm.
recently. And it's been fun, man. It's more enjoyable when it's something that you're into. Like, I feel like
Exactly.
it's probably kind of
Exactly.
like common sense, but
After you've been making a little bit more money, it's like, oh, I kind of want to do something I'm enjoying a little bit more. Because I always tell people, like, when you're first starting off, it would be cool if we could all get our first wins, our first six-figure and seven-figure stores and markets we really, really care about. But sometimes the markets we really, really care about aren't the easiest ones to make money at that moment. So you got to do like whatever's necessary. And I feel like we both been in that same spot where like we've been comfortable and making money for like a little bit of time now. And it's like, we could definitely take something to the very, very next level, even if it has a higher barrier to entry, if we just enjoyed it a little bit more.
yeah. I feel like once you get past a certain point where you're not like in that state of holy shit, I need to make money, it's it's easy to it's easy to get complacent, and it's tougher to, like motivate yourself, I guess, to do the right things when it's not something that you're super interested in. And then I feel like doing something that really actually resonates with you personally can kind of like reignite that fire and make you kind of get back into that mindset that you used to have when you were just like starting out and were just hustling your ass off.
Dude, exactly, exactly. Exact same page there.
That's funny, man. That's funny. So tell me a little bit about the brands that you're running. Obviously, we don't have to go into too much specifics, but I'd love to hear more about what you got going on.
Yeah, for sure. So, without being like crazy specific, and me and you could talk about like some specifics later when we get off the call, but it's basically like what I said earlier. Um, Products that solve problems, a physical problem and an emotional one, and just putting that together and just making this whole like transformation in ways that other people might look at the exact same product and just not realize that's what it could be used for. Like, for example, without saying exactly what I'm selling, it would be like seeing a pair of compression socks, and everybody's like, oh, compression socks help with the veins in your legs, they help prevent swelling, yada yada yada. And then starting a brand around those compression socks, but only for construction workers who are on their feet all day. So like the whole
Mhm.
brand is regarding construction workers, and the compression socks are like that breakthrough hero product. And then over time, you just add other SKUs that also help construction workers, which could be like maybe insoles or something like that. So just trying to get people into your ecosystem, into my ecosystem, and then sell them more and more products, and then get on other platforms is what the real goal has been now, all at the same time of just like trying to take our ass to the next level, right? We've been working on explainer videos for so long and it's done well. Image content has done well. But in the past couple of months to a year, we've really been testing more like pre-sale pages and like advertorials, almost like Blissy. Blissy, the pillowcase company, has been a huge place of inspiration because they took something so boring, honestly, a silk pillowcase, and I've turned it into this like massive company. I don't know, like I think they do like north of 100 million a year, which is pretty crazy to just be pillowcases. So that's like where I'm trying to go and what I've been working on.
Got you. Got you. I don't think I've heard of that brand before. I'm gonna have to look that up after this.
Oh, dude, like you've never heard of it? It's literally crazy. It's like this whole thing where it's like I saw a supermodel sleeping on the plane and she has no wrinkles, and she taught me how she has no wrinkles is because this beauty secret with this 100% crazy silk. pillowcase prevents my hair from getting frazzled, my skin from getting wrinkles, yada yada yada.
Oh, I just pulled up their site. Dude, that's killer. These are so expensive. Their AOV's got to be nuts.
Exactly. Dude, like I've had so many silk pillowcases and I probably have bought them at like Walmart, right? And then this company here just took that to like the next level. And I feel like that's what like a lot of people are missing is like the better your storytelling ability is, and you could really draw out like the deepest problem that a product can solve if you're better at like telling stories and like getting that across.
Yeah. So would you say is that kind of the angle that you take when you're doing these kind of pre-sale pages, these advertorials and things? Is it usually from a first person perspective or like a third person perspective?
I've tried both, but the ones that are like working for me the most right now are the first person stories. So I'll
Mhm.
craft a story that I've gotten from either one of my reviews or a review or an experience that I found online and dress it up to paint my product in a really, really good light. And that's honestly something I got from like studying native ads a long, long time ago. Even though I
Mhm.
never made the pre-sale pages myself, I would go to native ads to get ideas for products just to run traditional e-com way on Facebook ads because the native ads would just be killer. It'll be something that you've seen a million times, like a electronic health watch, and they dress it up as why are seniors all snapping up this $49 health watch and talk about how it can help them know if they might have a heart attack or whatever. I didn't sell this exact product, but it's just an example off the top of my head of
Mhm.
like how great like the angles could be when you really, really focus on the story. And it's like it's honestly pretty basic. I really do feel like, but it's kind of something that's newer for our sphere.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely not the typical way of doing things for like most people who do ecom. And that's something that I've tested out a little bit. I haven't done a whole lot of that. We had a store last year that was more, I don't know, it made more sense to do something like that. And we tested like pre-sale pages, and the thing that ended up working the best for us was not quite a pre-sale page, but it was like a long form kind of sales page that started
Uh-huh.
off with a story. And then, I mean, it was basically, it was like an advertorial type thing. And then
Yeah.
just at the bottom, it was like a regular Shopify product page.
Oh,
And
true,
that,
true,
that ended
true.
up working out pretty well.
Yeah, that's how I got to this point. I just like I didn't just jump into this. I like start off with your super traditional Shopify product page. Then I started making pages in like gym pages and Zipify, and I still use stuff like that. But I'm just like trying to just really test new things and just beat what I was doing before. And to beat what I was doing before, I'm just like I can either try to tweak two sentences or I can just make an entirely different page and hopefully get a home run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you got to go for the big changes when you're doing stuff like that. That's for sure. So Kobe, walk me through what these like the structure, I guess, of these kind of pre-sale pages from the beginning down to the call to action. Like what's the journey that someone is going on?
Yeah. Like the most basic one, and maybe I'll like send you another one after we get off the call, and you can include it in the email or whatever. But the most basic one would be like, why are seniors snapping up this $49 health watch, right? And then it essentially opens up by giving the example or a quick story. It could be like two paragraphs, either about a problem that customers face, like that the target market faces, or introduce the product like it's this breakthrough thing that news people are going crazy about and the market's going crazy about. And then you talk about the problem it solves and you talk about why this is such like a unique option. So in terms of the smartwatch, it's like it's only $49 compared to expensive Android and Apple watches that are in the hundreds of dollars and hard to use. You just emphasize this is affordable, it's new, it's effective, it's very easy to use for older people. It's not too complicated. Then you dive
Mhm.
even deeper and you start talking about how it has these specific benefits. So you take a a feature of the watch that it tracks your heart rate or something, and you go and research like what are the benefits of tracking your heart rate, and you'll find this massive list that will be some like surface level things, some very basic things like, oh, helps you know how much exercise you're getting. But somewhere in that list, it's going to talk about how knowing your heart rate or something like that can help you know if you're about to have a heart attack or not. So of course you do some
Mm.
more like research on that, but you just found the deepest link between this $49 watch and a person's health, which a person might buy it if you just say, hey, it's cheaper than an Apple Watch and it's easy to use. A person might buy it. But once you add in that like additional side of like, this can help you know if you're having a heart attack or not. And hey, this is not advice for anybody to do, whatever, but it just takes it to the next level. Like the same thing with like diffusers. Diffusers smell good, they moisturize the air, but like a deep link of a oil diffuser is that like it helps with insomnia. So that's what I would
Mhm.
like craft the whole story around. And then you basically just link it saying, but hey, like they're having this sale right now. Inventory's been going crazy, or like whatever the sale is, there's a bonus, yada, yada, yada. Click here to visit their official website. They have 100% money back guarantee, blah, blah, blah. And then you just link them there. Honestly, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Like Blissy's pre-sale pages are pretty extensive if you're just starting out, but that example of like the $49 health watch is super, super basic. It's not that long either, but it could really just like transform your whole funnel.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's super interesting because it's a different way of going about things. And I think the more things progress, it's probably more likely that stuff like that is going to be more necessary in order to, to make a profit, more
Yeah,
content, more information, more selling. The typical like, I guess kind of Shopify e-com stuff. I mean, it's super basic and
yeah.
it's very much based on, finding the right product and the right market. But I think a lot of people kind of neglect the additional side of that, which is getting really strong on the marketing. And you can do that
Mm-hmm.
without having a super long pre-sale page, and you can still, go really hard on that without doing all these crazy different things. But I think it's a really good illustration of kind of like innovating and showing, I don't know, it's just kind of an example to me of what's possible when you're willing to do something that a lot of other people aren't willing to do.
Exactly. And like I could have easily looked at my space and said, no other person is doing it. I'm already making money. It's not really like necessary for me. But that is what like made me want to figure it out, because like the first few times it didn't work, honestly. But I just kept on testing new variations of it. And eventually it's getting to the point where it's working better than other stuff I've been running for like a year or more. So it's almost just like just trying to push the limits on what's possible, because it doesn't matter like how much you're doing, you always want to push to that like next level. So you have to try things that are brand new, that have never worked for you before. And in my mind, I was just like, even though it's not working for me, it's worked for so many other people. I know it just has to be my fault. But like it's not like my market's fault why it's not working right now.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. So how many iterations did you go through of that pre-sale page before you got something that was working decently?
Um, I think I had to go to like probably like three or four. And also, it wasn't just the pre-sale page. Like I had to set the tone in the ad. Like it's
Hmm.
not the same. It's not going to be the same ad copy and creative as I had before, because it's going to like a different style of the page. And that's another place where like using stories is like so massive that can be like neglected, because it's really easy. Like if you've done multiple six figures with some basic drop shipping copy, you can get really complacent and just keep on making variations of that. But if you really want to like milk your whole money machine dry, I'm always just like, I'm gonna test out something completely different. And on days when like Facebook has its period, it doesn't want to act right, whatever. I'm just always like, it's not Facebook's fault, it's my fault. So I try to come up with something that like I've never done before. I got it from like these copywriting dudes, Justin Goff and Stephen Georgi, whatever. They
Hmm.
call it zebra ads, which are basically just like ads that stand out, which all of our ads try to stand out, right? Whatever. But like whenever I'm like going through like a rut, I'm like, okay, I need to make something unlike anything else that I've made before that like doesn't blend in. And that's how I treat when Facebook wants to act up, and it tends to go right for me eventually.
Yeah. I think that that's such a key point too, because even all these years later, when something's not working, I find myself still getting discouraged.
Yeah.
And, I think that you have a really good point there where if you've had success come, fairly easily in the past, that can make you think that that's how it should always be.
Yeah, dude,
And
it's so frustrating.
yeah, man, it can be. I mean, like I've gone through stages where I'm, second guessing myself. Like, do I even really know, what I'm doing here? Is this like, did I just get lucky? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I think it's just really important. Like, I think that's a really key thing to keep in mind is it's not going to work every time. Like, it's not supposed to. That's just not
Yeah,
how it works. And just because something didn't work once doesn't mean that you can't change it up and make it work. And, it's just like, it's kind of a numbers game. It's like
exactly.
you got to look
Exactly.
at it like kind of like baseball, I guess. Like, the best baseball players aren't hitting, 10 out of 10, whatever, they're not going 10 for 10. They're going like 3 for 10. They're batting like 300. Like if you're batting 300, you're doing pretty damn well. And I feel like that's kind of what you have to shoot for with ecom, because it's not going to be a home run every single time.
No, exactly, man. Like I've only probably done like 4 or 5 pre-sale pages, like variations, but I am like on version 23 of like my product pages and landers that are more like traditional side. Like I will crank those out and test them whenever I have a new idea. And like a lot of them flop, but it's like I'm trying to beat what's been working for a year, what's been working for a couple months. So like it is going to be hard. But like I said, I've made probably 30 variations plus of just landing pages. And it is really a numbers game because like I'm sure there's somebody out there putting in way more reps than me, but a lot of people are over here changing just like a sentence on their whole product page and they think that's what's going to like really move the needle, which it can. But if it's not, then you need to consider some like alternate methods and just like try to test pillars, not sand. A lot of pillars, not sand.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Switching gears a little bit, I'm kind of curious, what's your day-to-day like in terms of the kind of work that you're doing on your brands? I'm sure that you have some sort of team, some people around you that help you out with everything, but what's your kind of main roles that you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. So I have like my Facebook ads team. I work with like 2 different agencies on my 2 different brands right now. But like
Mhm.
my day to day is like I will legit wake up, open up the computer, check on what needs to be checked on, like see how the stats went overnight, whatever. Then I hit up Trello, have some things I need to work on, which will probably be like coming up with some new creative ideas, reviewing the creative ideas that my team came up with, seeing how the tests are going. Um, I'll probably take some time, like maybe to scope around on my stuff that's been working, that hasn't worked, and some stuff that's working for other people, and come up with a new idea for like a lander or whatever. And I'll basically like just work really, really heavy from probably 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then
Mhm.
around 12, I'll go to the gym, work out for a little bit, come back home, or like go to the office. And probably by then it's around 2. And then for the rest of the day until I stop working, be like lighter work, more admin stuff I don't want to do with like my prime brain energy. Because after like working out, I do not have that type of like enthusiasm or energy to get anything serious done.
I feel that so heavy. I mean, that's pretty similar to the structure of my day. You got to get all the important stuff done in the morning, and then
Yeah,
the afternoon is for, just put that
anything.
all the stuff that you just don't want to do, like all the shitty stuff that you have to do to run a business.
Exactly. Like, and I might honestly like turn on the TV and just sit in front of it, just get like tedious things done, like whatever that might be, like even answering like some chargebacks that I need to look at for the team or whatever. I might just have to do that and like turn on a movie or whatever, but I'm gonna do it in the evening. Or like if it's sunny outside, man, I'm not getting any work done in the afternoon. Like I'm gonna be outside somewhere.
Dude, I feel that, man. I've been getting out just about every afternoon, kind of a similar schedule, like work in the morning, a couple times a week, hit the gym. And then a lot of times after that, it's like eat lunch and then go play golf, go
Dude, I was
outside.
about to say, like, I've been playing a little bit of golf too. It's funny, like, I don't love golf. Like, I'm never the one to like suggest it, but I play because I refuse for like 5, 10 years from now. All my friends been playing like 5, 10 years more than me and just be spanking me. So I practice and play golf, like not even from a place of like loving it, but like I just don't want to get like left behind. It's like everybody turns 21 and just starts playing golf, bro. It's the weirdest thing.
Bro, that's so accurate. I feel like especially I feel like I was a part of a large group of dudes who just picked up golf like a year ago when everything was locked down because golf courses were the only thing that was left open.
Yeah. No, dude, like I don't know what it is. It's like guys go to college and they just pick up golf. It is the craziest thing. Like nobody wants to go out here and play basketball anymore, honestly. Nobody wants to play football, but anybody will go and play golf. Like everybody's free to play golf whenever you suggest it.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. I mean, it's a great sport, man. It's incredible, honestly, if you ask me. But that is pretty funny. So, Kobe, I'm curious. You got these golden nuggets, and you've dropped plenty of them over the course of the last few years, and stuff that we've done with Blue Ocean, stuff that you've done on your own Twitter, and I'm curious, like, if you're looking for a new product right now, what's that process look like for you? Because I feel like your process it's probably pretty similar to mine, but
Yeah.
you have a really great way of describing it. I'm curious to hear like where you're looking, what you're looking for, and all that kind of thing.
Okay, for sure. Probably the easiest way to put it is I'll like scour any place that products are sold. So that could be Amazon, it could be Shopify Exchange, it can be us like a spy software, whatever. It could be just scrolling through Instagram and like clicking on every ad. So main thing is just to see things that are already selling, or like even hit the as seen on TV section of your grocery store, right? And I'll just like take pictures of a bunch of stuff, screenshot it, write it down, and then I just dive into like the reviews of each product, and I'll start seeing like some commonalities, like the compression socks example at the grocery store as seen on TV. It's like copper compression socks, great for
Mm-hmm.
your legs. I go and start reading the reviews, and I just see countless reviews like, okay, nurses are wearing these, waitresses are wearing these, construction workers are wearing these. And then I'll go to Amazon and find like the product with the most reviews, and I will search one of the keywords that I keep seeing in the reviews, and then Amazon will tell you like how many reviews use the word construction worker, how many reviews use the word barber who stands all day, right? And that's how I'll like perhaps pick which market I should go into. And that's really like how simple it is. It's like if a group of people are using a product for something that it's not necessarily catered directly to them, I'm like, I want to cater it directly to them. And that means I'm going to like go and create content. So at first I might have to like scrape together just the most random stuff and just do my best to angle it towards construction workers. But once I get like that proof of concept, I'm going to do like a creative shoot with construction workers wearing the product and everything, so that it's just this cohesive experience of from ad to creative to landing page to website and name of the website all goes to that specific group of people. That way it's just like, oh shoot, like these are compression socks over here, but these are compression socks for construction workers, which is what I need because I'm a construction worker. Like it's really crazy. Like something as simple as adding to the name or just saying it's for you and not for everybody can really have people second guessing like, oh, this is cheaper, but this is for construction workers. And they're really going to go with the one that's for them specifically, even if you didn't do anything else other than just say it's for them, which if you want to make the experience even better, you just try to make the pro process like really, really good for construction workers. So you might want to take some other content like in an ebook or an email and craft it to like, okay, so these aren't stretches for people with back pain. These are stretches for construction workers to do after work. And that's like what I'll do. So I know I kind of rambled, but that's like how I find products and like angle them down.
No, dude, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I mean, that's pretty similar. Would you say that generally start more so with a product or more so with a market?
It honestly would like just depend, because what will happen is I'll see like, okay, a diffuser, and I see, okay, I could angle that towards insomnia. Then I start doing research on insomnia, and I'm like, oh, there are better products for insomnia. Or the same thing with like with the socks. I might realize construction workers want insoles way more than they want compression socks, or they want a massage chair. So I'll kind of like flip flop back and forth. Or, you know, off the top of my head, I'll be like, what new products are there for back pain right now? Like back pain is always going to sell on Facebook, right? Back
Hmm.
pain, knee pain, any type of joint pain is always going to sell on Facebook. I'll just go and try to find something new that actually works, of course, and just be like, okay, I could put these in front of people because they haven't seen it ever, or they haven't seen it in the past 2 years or a year or whatever.
Yeah, or they haven't seen it put in this way, angled towards their specific identity.
Exactly, because even from back pain, it can go like even more narrow. It could be athletes, it could be pregnant women, it could be old people. So like you could just narrow it down even more. Yeah.
Would you say that you mainly try to focus on products these days that solve like an actual physical problem instead of more so like accessories or, jewelry or things that could be maybe more like emotionally angled, but don't really have a strong like actual physical problem?
Well, like I'm 50-50 in it right now. Like half of me is really focused on my brand that solves a physical tangible problem, and the other half is an actual emotional problem, which the emotional one can be a little bit harder to sell at times, but at the same time it's also done like phenomenal. So like I'm in both. And like one thing I've noticed is like when solving like a real tangible like pain, like for example back pain, you're targeting people probably like 50 years or older is probably like your main demographic. And that
Mhm.
50 years and older group is just, I just think over time is going to be harder to target, because where are they really other than Facebook? I know there's tons of other methods to get in front of them. And if you don't have Facebook, like it's not the absolute end of the world, but that ease and the cheapness and the simplicity of Facebook isn't always going to be there. Like we're seeing it right now. Like I know you are expanding to other traffic methods. That's something I'm working on. So I'm like, I'm trying to find that balance of finding products that solve a problem, but for people that aren't only on Facebook. So that means looking into the physical or emotional problems that people who are on other platforms like TikTok, but who aren't 13. So we're trying to find that group of people that like have money, but are on Snapchat and TikTok and have a problem. So that's like a smaller group of people. It's a different set of problems, but that's really where I've been like putting some more attention into as well, because I just feel like the gains and the influence on TikTok is absolutely crazy. Like all the past trips I've been going on, I find where I'm going to eat and where I'm going to go out on TikTok. And I've even seen people waiting in like 2 or 3 hour lines for some cookies that they saw on TikTok. And that was like all the confirmation I needed to like pay more attention to it, honestly. Because I was hating on it for a while.
Dude, I'm still in that phase, man. Fuck TikTok.
Dude, I really was hating on it, but like after I started getting on there, like paying attention to it for business, that joint really will crack me up. Like there's some stuff on there I should send you, and you're gonna die laughing, and you're gonna get some new ideas. But like even like for what you might be working on or whatever, like I just feel like putting somebody on payroll to post on TikTok and using that content on other platforms, and even just the fact that TikTok can go viral. I'm seeing so many people on our like in our space posts, oh, like my wife's side business went viral on TikTok last night.
Yeah.
We woke up to 400, 100 orders, or we're sold out. And that's what really made me download the app and start paying attention, because I was like, no other platform is rewarding people like that. Like you're not going to go viral on Instagram just overnight with 100 followers. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's like real attention there. And then I saw this other crazy stat that was like, I think I saw earlier today. It was like 50 or 60% of people are saying that they bought from stuff they saw on TikTok. And I started looking at things TikTok made me buy. And I keep on getting ads from showerhead companies that are like things TikTok made me buy number 34, and it'll be like this shower head that they've angled towards helping with your hair and skin, removing the bad water from your pipes or whatever. And dude, I think it's crushing because I keep on getting hit with these ads, and I saw a store for sale. I don't know if it's sold or not, for like 7 figures, and it was absolutely beautiful. And that's the type of ad that they were running.
That's super interesting, dude. I've definitely had an aversion to TikTok just because of I don't know, the whole platform, the whole audience on it. It's super young. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it feels like super cringy to me. I think that there is, at this point, I mean, it's pretty undoubtable that it can be super valuable in a business sense. And I think that, I mean, even more so, the structure of a TikTok video and how fast paced it is and entertaining and like just like that style of video, I guess. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like can be really directly applicable to ads that you run
Yeah,
on Facebook or on other platforms. I mean, I'm seeing ads all the time that are TikToks.
exactly. And it's honestly pretty crazy. And I can't even cap. Like that first day or two on TikTok is really cringy. But as soon as they figure out what you want, they're showing you really good stuff. And I say it as somebody who didn't want to get on the platform. Now, when I get on it, they're showing me fire video after fire video after fire video. And I catch myself like scrolling for 5 minutes. I'm like, oh shoot, like I need to get off. I can't imagine what that is for just people who are bored. And like, dude, like it's absolutely gonna blow. I mean, it's already blowing, but like it also has like that buyer intent there. Like unlike Twitter, which people use all day, every day and still love, like Twitter has no buying intent. Meanwhile, TikTok is full of buying intent, bro. Like, dude, I saw this crazy video yesterday. It was this girl who was like, I just bought a clear top for my Jeep. And I don't even have a Jeep, Nate. And I was like, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this. And she put a clear top on her Jeep, drove through New York City, and it was like, it was just so sick. It was like she had a whole like sunroof now. And that just made me think she bought it because of TikTok, but that itself would be a killer ad, like probably top 10 ad I've seen in a while.
Very interesting, dude. I think there's something there too with the kind of native style of a lot of them. They come off even like ads that are strictly ads that were not like original organic posts. I feel like there's still a lot of times in on TikTok and that kind of format, like they're made to look like native content, and people
Yeah.
don't really like they don't really see it as an ad because it's not obviously an ad. It's like, yo, this is a cool product, and I feel like that can kind of fly under the radar. Get people to not immediately think, oh my god, this is an ad, and just skip it. It still gets their attention, and it still makes them interested because it didn't like flip that switch of, oh, they're just trying to sell me something.
Exactly, exactly. And it's a good place to just like get new ideas in general for stuff you're already running. If you don't have anything to run, all that good stuff.
All right, I might download it. I had it for a little while, like a year or two ago, but dude, it's
I
actually
just
pretty
texted you the
crazy.
video. I just texted you the video, bro. It's so sick.
Word, I'll check it out. It's pretty crazy that the dude who works at the convenience store near my house that we always go to, he absolutely freaking blew up on TikTok. He's got like 2 million on TikTok or something. He
Dude,
just
that is insane. Like I was watching TikTok the other day and saw somebody at my gym who I play basketball with had this super corny story to like benching 2 plates. And I was like, what the I just was benching beside him 2 days ago. And I was just like, that's so crazy that he blew up and I know this dude. Like I see him at the gym. Like I haven't seen him since that video, but I'm like, I want to go up to him and be like, bro, like I saw your video. I know it's creepy, but that was crazy that I saw your video and knew this was you.
That's pretty crazy, bro. I feel like that's like it's not that uncommon. Like I've met multiple people who have gotten like decently big on TikTok. Now, I don't know how
Facts.
much that translates to like to business and like monetary success, because I feel
Yeah.
like it's not as easily monetizable for a lot of people than other platforms are. But there's definitely something there, and I think I don't know, man. I mean, I'm interested to see how. I feel like that is just probably one iteration of where things are heading with social media. And I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what ends up coming out, over the coming years.
Exactly. And dude, I'll be honest. Like once I put my pride aside of like having my degree and maturity of not getting on the app, like I just hung up that degree, I just threw it away and I got on there. I started seeing like there are people making money. It's this other dude I'll send you. He's like a tech guy on Twitter. Like he shows people how to get into tech, and he posts on TikTok the standard formula, like the Ty Lopez. Here's where I was 5 years ago, down bad. I grinded. Here's where I'm at now. And he posted like 4 of them, and one of them went viral. And now he gets all these questions, and he answers the questions on video and posts it on TikTok, and has a link. Like it says, go to here to learn more. And it's a link to like his course on how to get into tech. And I've been
Mm.
watching him tweet about it. And I've seen him go from like, he tweeted like, oh, I sold a couple today, whatever. He sold like 8 grand worth of his course the other day. Like I don't even know what the price point is, but he keeps on tweeting it. And like it's like traffic going to his Twitter from his TikTok. Like it's like his own little funnel. And dude, I almost want to do it as an experiment. Like how long would it take me to go viral if I posted like my very first apartment, and I just am like, I'm so down bad, but I kept working. I failed, I struggled, and here's where I'm at now. And then boom, insert all the clips of like me on a trip here, me here. Like that is absolutely gonna blow and be like, it's all thanks to ecom. Like that's like it's so corny, but like I almost just want to do it as like an experiment, like because like I just know it would work on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Bro, I could definitely see it. I think you got to do that now that you just said that.
All right, I might have to. I'm gonna keep everybody posted.
Send that to me when you make that. That'll be good.
Yeah.
But okay, a little bit different topic here. Take as much time as you need to think about this. What do you think is a big thing that most people get wrong when they're getting into ecom?
Okay. Give me a sec. Man, this is actually a tough one. I might like ramble out a few, but one, I think the biggest thing people get wrong is they really don't know how to like combine a product with a starving market. Like they really do struggle to find that fit. And it's like, it's honestly really, really like basic. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but it's like the absolute most critical, because product market fit is what every business is based upon. And I feel like when people just see something selling, because there's a group of people out there who craft up generic ads and just run it and crush it. I don't know who these people are. I've never met them myself. I've even tried to copy them, and it's never ever worked for me, unfortunately, which is how I ended up like where I'm at now. Is I'm like, okay, so I just never could get that to work. So I just like accidentally found this whole product market fit thing. I was like, okay, well, it's not selling broad, so I need to narrow it down, I guess. Maybe that will help. And that's what crushed. And I think that's what most people do get wrong. That, and still putting to like a question I get every single day is like, what interest should I target on Facebook? And I'm like, honestly, man, at this point, like I don't even think I've said this, but I need to, and everybody should put emphasis on it. It's like you could target the same interest, but depending on what your ad talks about, like who your ad is going after, will show to 2 completely different groups of people. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, stop putting so much weight in that and use like your ad, your creative, your website to do the targeting for you, so to speak. Because if you handle that, Facebook's going to show it to the right people eventually. Honestly, if you do everything that you're supposed to do, Facebook's going to show it to the right people. It might not be at the cheapest cost or whatever, but they're absolutely going to show it to like the right people. And if they're not buying, it's your fault. Like view everything as your fault. People hitting me up talking about, oh, iOS this, iOS that, and I look at their funnel, and their conversion rate is only 1.2, and it's been that for way before iOS. And I'm like, that's your issue. But I'm sure it got worse because of iOS, but like just assume everything is your fault. Like you really can't go wrong with that. And just getting really good at like finding product market fit through your research, and then testing fast to actually find out, and then going all in on that idea.
Dude, I think that's probably some of the best advice that anyone could hear, honestly.
Yeah.
Like that's actually what it's all about. And it's simple, dude. Like it's frustrating because it's very simple. It's just difficult to get right.
Yeah, like it's a lot of moving pieces, honestly. Like when I take a step back and I think about it for people who kind of just want to like who see what I do and they're like, oh, I just want to do what you do, bro. Like I just need to make some money. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And then like once I like lay it out for them or like I send them a YouTube channel and they realize how many moving pieces there are, it's like it's not just something you just do real quick to just make a couple $100 and you really don't care about it. Like if like you have to want this for the long term or like the medium term because it is a lot of moving pieces, and if you're not like gonna go all in, it's gonna be pretty hard to figure them all out.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of moving pieces, and I think a lot of it just honestly comes down to making that decision that like I'm going to make this work no matter what. That was totally what it was for me. And if you
Exactly.
make that decision and every day you just get up and you try to work towards that, most likely you're going to get there, and it's probably not even going to take as long as you might have thought. But it's just a matter of doing that consistent daily work every single day.
Exactly. Yeah, like and even when you don't feel like it, because man, like it's days where you're just completely like frustrated and just like upset with your own performance. You're upset with Facebook, but you still got to clock in. Honestly, like I be acting like I'm a pro athlete, like in the stuff I do. I'm like, man, I still got to go to work. I still got to clock in because that's what you do if you're a pro athlete. Like, man, you just can't skip work that day. Like, it makes it more fun to feel like I'm a pro athlete too. But yeah,
Dude, I love that perspective. I love that because sometimes I feel like that too. And some of those days I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to get anything good done today. Like, I'm just going to go, fuck around, go play golf, whatever.
yeah,
But I like that. I like that way of looking at it where it's like, I don't know. Like, I think you got to have times that you take breaks and you rest and, you give your mind some time to think and all that kind of
for
stuff.
sure.
But
Yeah.
you got to show up, man. You got to show up like pretty much freaking every day.
Yeah, like at least do something, especially like when you're first getting started. You need to be doing something every single day that's gonna like push it forward. Like, and I mean, honestly, like this is not like the best quality, but like when things aren't going good for me is when I want to like work all day and all night. Like I'll just keep on adding things to my plate because I feel guilty when I'm not working. But that's
Yeah.
also why like I
That's
do
super
get stuff
relatable.
like yeah, but like that's when I do get stuff like figured out. Like of course I take time off, of course I do that. But it's honestly like if I don't have plans and like I don't have anything to do and I'm like at home, I will probably just work because like I just have to figure this out. And that's exactly what I did. And like eventually I figured it out. Now, if I take a day off, I still feel like a little bit guilty, but I know in the long term it's not like this crazy negative. But at the beginning it really is a crazy negative, I think, to take a day off unnecessarily.
Yeah. I just think you just can't let that build up. Like it's okay if if one day you kind of slack off, whatever, shit happens, life happens, but
Yeah.
then you just got to get back at it. Like
Yeah.
next
Facts,
day,
facts,
you
facts.
can't just let that like continue as long as
Yeah,
you,
like you can't only work like when you're happy, honestly, was like a huge thing. Like I can't only get work done when like I feel like it, because like I've made some huge like breakthroughs and I didn't feel like working, honestly. And I'm just like, imagine if I just didn't do that today. Like, of course, like you said, there's nothing wrong with doing it every once in a while, but like you can't build a habit out of that.
yeah, that's a great insight, dude. It doesn't matter what you feel like, like
Still got to go to work, bro.
I try to treat it like that myself because it's really easy for me to just be like, yeah, today I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna go do something else. And I have the freedom to do that. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be hurting financially. I don't have anyone who's gonna be getting on me about it. And I think that's a big part of being an entrepreneur is not only do you have to like be the business owner, but you also have to manage yourself and make sure
Yeah.
that you're playing both of those roles, I guess, and
Yeah.
making sure that you're keeping yourself accountable and just putting in the daily work.
I agree. And like setting boundaries for other people. Like, I don't know if this happened to you, bro, but like ever since I was a kid, my parents would volunteer me for anything. Like, oh, you need help moving? Kobe will help you move. And they would drop me off over there. And like this honestly continued like into this past year where it would be like 9 a.m. and I was going to help my parents' friends. do something, because it's just really hard for me to say no to these people like who love me, who have done so much for me. But honestly, like I've had to start treating it like, hey, like from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. or like whatever time I say, like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. are like, I am not gonna help you unless it is an absolute emergency. Because when people see that like you don't have to go to work, they think it's all just like, oh, like he makes his own schedule, he can work whenever. And it's
Mhm.
like, I don't want to be working at midnight because I was helping you out. Honestly, like I just can't like even like function that way. So I had to like set hard boundaries like with my parents, with the people in my life, like, hey, like these are my hours where like I am in the zone working. And I think like I really made some headway with, it's like, especially like my parents, because I was like, if I don't treat these hours like I'm at work, like it's the freaking finals, I'm gonna end up getting a 9 to 5 job if I like cannot get work done during these hours. So it's like I absolutely need to be unbothered right now. And I cannot help. I'm sorry. Like I know I'm technically available, but I'm really not available. Schedule it for later in the day and I'll help you.
Yeah, I think that's really important. I hadn't had to deal with that too much. Definitely a little bit. Like my parents didn't like don't really volunteer me to do things for other people, but they're always asking me to, do stuff for them. Like I just
Yeah,
yesterday I just finished digging a freaking garden for my mom,
yeah.
and like I was happy to do that for her. She's not like, over the top with it, always, having a new thing for me to do. But that is it's just an interesting life when you have that kind of freedom, and especially when the people in your life know that you have that kind of freedom.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I don't know, definitely it can be taken advantage of, but that's again why you gotta play that role of being the boss, being the dude who's doing the work. There's a lot of different hats that you gotta put on in this kind of a game, a biz.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like you do have to have like a measure of, yeah, like you're very flexible, but you have to have like some structure in there,
Yeah.
some rigidness.
So Kobe, the last thing that I wanted to ask you is, what's the long-term vision? Kobe Gatsby, you sell some brands, you got down the line, you got 10 mil, 100 mil in the bank, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
What's the vision, man? What do you want to do with that? What's your kind of plan, if there even is any?
Dude, I really don't know. Like I really don't know a life other than like working in some way, right? It's like, okay, so let's say like that happens 10, 5, 10, 20, whatever. I don't know. I'll be working on something. I might not work as much as I do now, but I'll definitely always be working on something in some capacity. Maybe I have like a better team who I could just tell my ideas to, who are better at the individual task of executing. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, like I think a reason I've been able to do what I do now and why I'm happy now is because I've honestly like grown to enjoy what I do. Like work is actually like kind of fun when it's the things I want to do, right? Like coming up with new ideas, running new tests, things like that could be really, really fun. And that's why I think no matter what, I'll still be involved in like business regardless of how much I have, because it's like it's still fun. Like I enjoy work sometimes as much as I enjoy like going to play basketball. You know what I mean? And I don't have any plans on ever stopping playing basketball or football. So like I don't think I'll ever stop working either, at least in some capacity.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I feel like it might evolve over time, and maybe it'll be less hours or something less strenuous, or who knows. But I can't imagine waking up in the morning and not, having some sort of business to build. Like
Dude, yeah,
that's
like at least something small, even if it's an hour or two, and then you could like play around the rest of the day. But like just something.
I think that's really important to have, and I think that we're super blessed to have found something that we feel like that about at such young ages. Because a
True.
lot of my friends, man, like they don't have something that they're that they wake up in the morning and they're excited to do. They're excited to work on. It's just kind of like, you know, got to go to the office, got to get these hours in, and then I can resume my life from there.
Yeah.
Whereas I just feel like we're kind of lucky where those lines are blurred a little bit, and
Facts.
the work doesn't always feel like work.
Exactly, dude. I'd be on vacation kind of like on like that like third or fourth day or like that fifth day, I'm like, okay, I'm already going home. Like I know I'm going home, but like I'm kind of excited to go home. I'm kind of excited to go
Yeah.
back to work. It's like it's a good feeling enjoying both, and I do enjoy doing both. So like I'm really glad that I don't dread coming home or like the week or like anything like that. Honestly, like I have small tasks that I dread, but like anything as a whole, nothing.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel too. Like I don't want to deal with anything that's like tax related or like just random small stuff.
Yeah,
But
I don't want to do customer service, and I don't want to do taxes.
definitely not. But I feel like, with anything, there's always going to be some things that are not going to be fun. And it's just, it's things that you got to do. But dude, thank you so much for giving us your time here and breaking down some of these things. I really enjoyed hearing your perspective about the pre-sale pages and your kind of overall strategy for finding products and all that kind of stuff. That was very interesting. I think that people will get a lot out of that.
Yeah,
Um, where
I hope
can
so.
people find you if they enjoyed your sensual voice, want to learn more? Where should they find you?
Dude, I'm just on Twitter, Kobe Gatsby. That's where I'm at.
Kobe
Nah,
Gatsby on Twitter, baby.
you know.
Well, y'all go give him a follow if you haven't already. I bet probably a lot of people that are listening to this are probably already following you. But if
But
you're
I think
not,
like you surpassed me, bro. Like I remember this one time I tweeted you, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna pass you," and you were like,
we
I am
were
not
trying to
gonna
have a
let
little
that happen."
competition back in the day, if I remember.
Yeah, and you were like, "I am not going to let that happen," and you were right. So
That's funny, bro. Yeah, I think I've pretty much been around the same follower count for a while now. I'm honestly kind of amazed that I'm still getting followers because I don't really tweet all that much, and like the stuff that I
yeah,
tweet now is just like, I don't know. I feel like for the first like year or two, it was very strictly business content, and now it's just like it's more like me, like my random thoughts and
hmm,
just like funny shit that comes into my head. But
yeah,
somehow people are still finding and following me. So
yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Thank you, bro.
yeah, man. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, hope you enjoyed this episode with none other than the man, Kobe Gatsby. This is going to be the first episode for this week's Knowledge Drop. So we'll talk to you guys in the next one.